Science named her the most beautiful woman in the world. She was the face of countless ads. Millions watched her walk the runways in Paris, Milan, and New York. But behind the bright lights, Bella Hadid was fading away. At 14, she had a surgery she would later wish she hadn't. At 16, she posted things online that would cause her trouble for years. At 23, she felt lost looking in the mirror. By her mid-20s, she was begging her body to keep working, even though her health was giving out. This is a story about a girl who had everything people want, and it almost broke her. What happens when your face is more famous than your struggle? When looking perfect feels like a trap? When the world thinks they know you just because they've been watching you since you were a teen? This is the story of Bella Hadid, and it's bigger than just one model. It's about all of us and what we give up just to be noticed.
Bella Hadid.
Bella Hadid.
Bella Hadid, who has suffered from Lyme disease for over a decade, opening up in an emotional new Instagram post, sharing pictures of herself hooked up to IVs and undergoing treatments for a variety of illnesses, including Lyme.
How would you describe me?
Dependable.
Dependable.
Stubborn.
Stubborn.
Very kind.
Very kind.
Before Bella Hadid was famous, before the fashion shows and the magazine covers, she was just Isabella. She was born in 1996 in Washington, D.C., to parents who were already well known. Her dad, Mohammed, built big luxury houses and hotels. Her mum, Yolanda, used to be a model in Europe. Success and beauty were part of Bella's life from the very beginning. But here is the hard part about being born into a family like that. You don't just get money, you get pressure. You feel like there is a plan for who you are supposed to be. And sometimes you feel like you aren't doing enough. Bella grew up in a huge house in Los Angeles with her older sister Gigi and younger brother Anwar. From the outside, it looked perfect, like a movie. Horses, private schools, and a mum who knew everything about fashion. But perfect lives can be hard, especially when you feel like you are living in someone else's shadow. Gigi was older, blonde, and very outgoing. She was already getting modeling jobs as a little kid. Before Bella even really knew what modeling was, her sister was already the one getting all the attention, the one who lit up the room. Bella has talked about this honestly. She said she felt like the less pretty sister. She had dark hair and wasn't as loud or cool as Gigi. Imagine feeling that way as a kid. It wasn't because people were mean. Gigi and Bella have always been close. It was just what she saw. She watched people get excited when her sister walked in, while barely noticing her. In their house, looks were very important. Her mum would talk openly about diets and what it took to be a model. Yolanda has been criticized for being too strict about food. On TV shows, people saw her tell her daughters to eat very little. For Bella, this was tough. She was comparing herself to magazines and her own sister, guided by a mum who knew how strict the fashion world is. And then there was her face. Bella looked different from Gigi. Her features were sharper and more serious. In a world that liked the friendly girl next door look, Bella felt like she didn't fit in. She didn't feel pretty enough growing up. While Gigi was modeling, Bella was riding horses. She wanted to go to the Olympics. Riding was her escape, the one place where she didn't have to be compared to anyone else. But even that dream was taken away. At 15, Bella faced serious health issues. Along with her mum and brother, she was diagnosed with Lyme disease. It made her feel extremely tired and sore, and she had trouble focusing. It became impossible to keep riding horses at a high level. The horses, her one happy place, was suddenly out of reach. So what do you do when your dream is gone and you are living in the shadow of a successful sister? You follow the path that is open to you. At 17, Bella signed with a modeling agency, the same one as Gigi. Just like that, the girl who felt different was stepping into a business that judges everyone on exactly how they look. The fashion world is strange. It ignores you, and then suddenly, it loves you. And when it does, it wants you all the time. Bella Hadid's early modeling career was okay. She walked in some shows, did some photo shoots, and went to auditions where people would look at her and say, "You're Gigi's sister, right?" She was working, but she wasn't the main star. And then something changed. By 2015, when Bella was just 19, big brands began to notice something about her face. It wasn't the usual look, it wasn't safe, it stood out in photos. Very sharp cheekbones, eyes that looked intense rather than bright, and a vibe that was more serious than happy. The runway became her place. Paris Fashion Week 2015. Bella walked for big companies, but her walk itself started getting attention. Not happy like Gigi's, not playful, cool, careful, serious. She moved down runways like she was on a mission, not just showing off a dress. Directors loved it. Then came 2016, and Bella Hadid became a huge star. She walked in 17 shows during New York Fashion Week alone, Paris, Milan, London. She started and finished shows for major designers. Her face was everywhere. Dior, Givenchy, Versace, Balmain. Photographers loved her look. Magazines called her the model of the moment. By the end of 2016, experts named Bella Hadid Model of the Year. She was on the cover of all the big magazines. She went from being Gigi's sister to being the Bella Hadid, the one designers asked for, the one whose look defined a new time in fashion. And here is where it gets tricky, because Bella's rise wasn't just about talent or hard work or even luck. It was about her face, specifically about how her face had changed. Let's talk about what nobody wanted to mention in 2016. Bella looked different than she did at 16, very different. Her nose looked thinner, her cheeks looked higher, her lips looked fuller, her jawline looked sharper. The rumors started fast. People talked about cosmetic procedures and enhancements. The internet was full of before and after photos, with people guessing what changes she might have made. Bella said it wasn't true. For years, she said no. People think I fully changed my face, which is false, she said in a 2018 interview. I'm scared of doing that. She said the changes were from growing up and using makeup tricks. And the industry, wanting her look, didn't ask questions. They just kept hiring her. But here is the hard truth underneath it all. It didn't actually matter if she had work done or not. What mattered was that the industry liked her more when she looked a certain way. The praise came from the outside. It depended entirely on how much her face looked like what the fashion world wanted that year. When Bella looked more sharp and striking, whether through growing up, weight changes, makeup, or other methods, she got more work, more praise, more covers, more shows. The message was clear. This version of you is better. This is the face we want. For someone who spent her childhood feeling like she wasn't the pretty sister, can you imagine how good that praise must have felt? Finally, the world was choosing her. Finally, she was the one people wanted to photograph and celebrate. But praise that is based on how you look is a trap, because looks change, trends change, and you are left chasing something you can't really control. Bella was getting everything she thought she wanted: the fame, the success, the awards, designers fighting over her, her name everywhere. But she was also learning what it meant to be a product. In interviews from this time, you can see it starting. The way she talks about herself like she is someone else, the Bella that people see, what they want from Bella, as if she was splitting into two parts, the girl inside and the image that belonged to everyone else. She was 19 years old. The industry had found its face, and it was about to take over the real person behind it. By 2017, Bella Hadid wasn't just modeling, she was everywhere. And everywhere isn't just a saying, it was the real story of her life. Fashion Week in New York, fly to London, walk 8 shows in 2 days, fly to Milan, 10 shows in 3 days, fly to Paris, walk for top brands in the morning, another in the afternoon, and a high fashion show that evening, late night fittings, sleep on the plane, land in Los Angeles for a photo shoot, fly to Dubai for an event, fly back to New York for the big gala. This was Bella's calendar for months, for years. In one season alone, Bella walked in over 30 shows. She was in ads for makeup, jewelry, sports brands, and luxury watches. She was shooting photos for every major magazine on the planet. Her Instagram following was growing fast. 10 million, 20 million, 30 million followers, all watching her every move. The industry calls this speed. Bella's team would have called it taking the chance while you can. Her mother would have called it making the most of your moment. Bella would later call it something else. I was a robot. Because here is what that schedule actually means for a person. You wake up at 4 a.m. for hair and makeup. You stand in high heels for 12 hours while photographers give loud directions. You change outfits 40 times. You might skip meals because the clothes have to fit perfectly, and there is no time anyway. You smile when told to smile. You look serious when told to look serious. You become whatever the boss needs you to be in that moment. Then you do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. Your body stops feeling like yours. It becomes a doll, a hanger for clothes, a canvas for makeup artists, a background for someone else's idea, and everyone has an opinion about that body. In the age of social media, Bella wasn't just being photographed by pros, she was being photographed by everyone. Every runway walk was on TikTok within minutes. Every red carpet dress was talked about on Twitter. Every street photo was zoomed in on and analyzed. Too thin, too strong, too pale, trying too hard, not trying hard enough. Her face looks puffy, her nose looks different. She looks tired, she looks mad. She looks like she doesn't want to be there. The attention never stopped. It made her feel less like a person, and the rumors about her appearance never stopped. Every few months, photos comparing her looks would go around online. People who had never met her would make videos guessing what procedures she might have had. Comment sections filled with guesses and mean words. She changed her face. She looked better before. She still looks sad. Bella stayed quiet. She kept working. She kept walking. She kept playing the role of Bella Hadid, supermodel, even as the real Bella, the one with feelings and fears, was hurting inside. Because in the modeling industry, you generally don't get to complain. You don't get to say you are tired or hurt or stressed. Models are expected to be thankful. You are getting paid to wear beautiful clothes and travel the world. What could be wrong? This is the quiet rule of modeling. You don't speak unless spoken to. You don't have opinions about the clothes or the ideas. You show up, you perform, you leave. Your job is to be beautiful and follow the rules. And Bella was very, very good at her job, but following the rules has a cost, especially when you are acting perfect for a world that wants to find your flaws. In 2018, Bella did 36 fashion shows in 1 month. She posted smiling photos from every city. She thanked designers in her captions. She showed up to parties in amazing outfits, looking glamorous. But inside, she was struggling. Years later, in a very honest interview, Bella described what was really happening. I would come home from work and just cry. I couldn't get out of bed for weeks. My brain was so tired from constantly performing. She described feeling disconnected during photo shoots, like she was watching herself from outside, going through the motions while feeling far away from reality. She described feeling so anxious that she would get upset in cars on the way to events, pull herself together just long enough to walk a red carpet with a smile, then feel low again the moment she was alone. She described looking in the mirror and not recognizing the person staring back. But she kept going because this was the dream, right? This was what she had worked for. This was the approval she wanted. The world finally choosing her, finally seeing her as successful. Except it didn't feel like success. It felt like being stuck while everyone around you clapped. The world saw a supermodel at the top of her game. Bella saw a product being used, a face that didn't belong to her anymore, a body that was getting tired. And the industry just kept booking overlooking her because she showed up, because she performed, because the machine doesn't stop for your feelings, it just finds someone else if you can't keep up. Bella Hadid was becoming one of the most famous faces on the planet, and she was fading away. Being famous makes everything bigger: your wins, your looks, your money, and your mistakes. For Bella Hadid, the more famous she got, the more people watched her every move, every error, every bad caption, and every dramatic moment became fuel for people to judge her. And the internet never forgets. Let's start at the beginning, because this is where many of Bella's critics start. 2012. Bella was 16 years old, a teenager on social media who didn't seem to know that the internet keeps everything forever. Like many teens back then, Bella posted song lyrics, but unlike many others, some of those lyrics included forbidden words and hurtful language. She also posted her own unkind comments that targeted specific groups of people based on their background. These posts came back up many times over the years, first in 2016 when she was getting famous, then again in 2017, and every so often since then. Each time, the reaction was fast and angry. Claims of prejudice, calls for her to take responsibility, demands that brands stop working with her. Bella said sorry, admitting she didn't know better and saying she felt bad about how she acted as a teen. But on the internet, apologies don't delete history, they just become part of it. Here is the hard part about this. Bella was a teenager when she posted those things. A 16-year-old who didn't understand how heavy those words were, the hurt they caused, or the hate they spread. Does that make it okay? No. Does it help explain the situation? Yes. But explanations don't go viral. Anger does. By 2017, Bella started speaking up more about social causes, especially those related to her family's roots. Her father is from overseas, and Bella has always felt connected to that side of her family, even though she grew up with a lot of money in America. When the government announced new travel rules affecting certain countries, Bella joined a big protest in New York City. She posted photos, shared her pride in her family background, and showed that she did not agree with the new rules. Some people liked that she spoke up. Others said she was just doing it for show, talking when it was popular but not doing the real work when cameras weren't around. The backlash got worse when Bella shared her views on conflicts happening overseas. Opposing groups got upset with her. Some said her comments were hurtful, while others claimed she wasn't doing enough. Everyone had an opinion on whether a 20-year-old model should be talking about complex world issues, but the real drama was still to come. In 2019, Bella posted an Instagram story that became one of the biggest problems of her career. The video showed her on a plane, and at one point, the bottom of her foot was shown pointing toward other planes, with flags from the Middle East. In that culture, showing the bottom of your foot towards someone is seen as very rude. And Bella, who always said she was proud of her Middle Eastern roots, had just shared this image with millions of followers. The angry reaction happened right away. A negative hashtag about her started trending all over the region. People said they would stop supporting her. Her photos were taken down from malls in Dubai and other nearby countries. She received thousands of scary and hateful messages. Bella apologized a lot, calling it an honest mistake and saying she would never mean to be rude to the culture. But the damage was done. For someone who said she was proud of her background, people felt like she either didn't know better or wasn't being real, and neither looked good. In 2020, Bella said Instagram was treating her unfairly after the app removed a photo she posted of her dad's passport, which showed he was born in Palestine. Instagram said the photo broke their rules. Bella said they were trying to hide her posts. This started a lot of arguments about social media apps, how places are recognized, and if Bella really cared about the cause or just wanted attention attention. People noted that she lives a very wealthy life and only brings up serious topics when she wants to. At a big movie event in 2021, Bella wore a designer dress with a very open front, covered only by a large gold necklace shaped like a pair of lungs. The outfit became famous all over the world, mostly because of how bold it looked. Some people called it high fashion. Others said she just wanted people to look at her. The conversation became less about the dress and more about Bella herself. Was she making a strong choice or just trying to get noticed? For Bella, she was probably just wearing what her team picked out for her. But when the whole world is watching, everything you do sends a message, even if you don't mean to. Then came March 2022, and Bella finally talked about what everyone had been guessing for years. Yes, she changed her nose. In an open talk with a magazine, Bella shared that she had the procedure at age 14, before her modeling career even started. But here is the sad part. She wished she hadn't. "I wish I had kept the nose of my family," she said. "I think I would have grown into it." The news got mixed reactions. Some liked her honesty, others felt upset. She had said for years that she hadn't had work done, and now she was admitting they were right all along. But the real chat this started was bigger than Bella. What does it mean that a 14-year-old changed her appearance? What kind of pressure was she under? How did the adults around her allow that? And what does it say about beauty trends that even someone with Bella's natural looks felt the need to change her face to fit a certain image? Bella saying she regretted the change was sad. It showed a girl who learned to think her natural features, her heritage, weren't good enough, that she needed to look different to be beautiful. And it worked. After the procedure, changing her style, and learning to use makeup, she became a supermodel. The world praised the version of her that looked less like her roots. If the 2019 flag moment was a mess, Bella's 2023 support for Palestine was a shockwave. When the conflict started in October 2023, Bella spoke up right away. She spoke out against the attacks on people in Israel, but she also called the military response a tragedy, gave $1 million to help people in the region, and joined protests asking for the fighting to stop. The reaction was fast and harsh. Opposing groups claimed she was supporting violence. She received threats to her safety. A musician even released a song wishing her harm. Companies quietly stepped away and she lost work. But Bella didn't stop. She kept posting, kept speaking up, and kept using her fame to show the hardships people were facing, even though it hurt her career and put her safety at risk. Critics claimed she was spreading hateful lies. Fans cheered her on for being brave when other stars stayed quiet. The truth, as always, was more mixed than either side wanted to admit. Then came one of the biggest mistakes in recent ad history. In 2024, Adidas featured Bella in an ad for SL72 sneakers, a shoe linked to the 1972 Munich Olympics. This was the same event where a terrible tragedy took place and 11 athletes lost their lives. Adidas chose Bella Hadid, known for speaking up for Palestine, to promote a shoe connected to that dark moment in history. The negative reaction happened right away. Officials and groups spoke out against Adidas, calling the move hurtful and wrong. Adidas stopped the ad within days and said sorry. Bella's team also apologized, saying she had no idea about the history and would never have agreed to the ad if she had known. She reportedly hired lawyers to handle the situation, but the harm to Bella's image, to the brand, and regarding the arguments over her views was already done. Later that year, Bella faced some drama at Cannes. It looked like the security guards got too rough with another guest on the red carpet, and her dress allegedly got ruined. Clips of the moment went viral, and the guest said Bella's team treated regular people like they didn't matter. Bella said she had nothing to do with it because the festival hired the guards, not her. But the story stuck. A supermodel model's team being rude to a guest. It felt like the rich and famous versus everyone else. Bella visited Dubai in 2024 to launch her new perfume, Bella. At first, it looked like a normal work trip, but people quickly pointed out a problem. Bella had posted online about the hard times people are facing in Sudan and asked the world to help. However, the UAE is involved in the conflict there, and supports groups accused of doing terrible things. People asked, how could she support Sudan while doing business in the UAE? Bella didn't say anything about it. Her team likely thought there was no good answer: defend the trip and look bad, or cancel it and lose a big business chance. So she stayed quiet. And more people started saying she was just pretending to care for the show. In 2025, Bella was picked to close a famous fashion show, a really big deal. But during her walk, she seemed to have a hard time. She was moving slower than normal and looked a bit shaky. Fans got worried right away. Bella later shared that she was dealing with a health issue, but kept going because she promised she would be there. Some people respected her hard work, others asked why she did it, and some wondered if she felt pressured to walk even though she was sick, because the show has to happen no matter what. Recently in 2026, Bella spoke out against Dolce and Gabbana for leaving people out of their fashion show. She said the brand had a history of unfair treatment, being hateful and excluding others. It was a brave move, but people quickly noticed Bella's mixed messages. She had worked with brands known for the same issues. She had stayed quiet about other problems in the business. Why speak up now? Did she really care? Was it just a plan to look better? Both? As always, the internet had a lot to say about it. Looking at all the drama over the years, a pattern shows up. Bella Hadid is just a real person living a very public life. She makes mistakes, sometimes because she didn't know better, sometimes because of bad choices, and sometimes simply because she is human in a job that expects her to be perfect. But being famous turns those mistakes into huge tests of her character. Every wrong move becomes a big deal. Every bad post is used to prove she is fake. Every mix-up is used against her. The real question is, how much of a break do we give someone who has been famous since she was a teenager? How do we tell people when they are wrong, while also letting them learn and grow? And how much of this judgment is because people actually care about the issues? And how much is just the internet loving to watch famous people fail? For Bella, the drama became one more weight added to a heavy load. One more reason to feel like she couldn't do anything right. One more reminder that the world was watching, judging, and waiting for her to mess up. And through it all, she kept working, kept walking, kept going, until her body finally said, enough. If modeling taught Bella that her look didn't belong to her, dating while famous taught her that her feelings didn't either. Every relationship, every breakup, every time they got back together, every picture taken on the street, all of it became news for magazines and millions of strangers who thought they could judge her private life. And in the middle of this public struggle was one relationship that shaped years of Bella's life: her back-and-forth history with the Weeknd. They met in 2015 at a music festival. Bella was 19, just starting her rise in modeling. Abel Tesfaye, known to the world as The Weeknd, was already a huge music star, known for moody songs about difficult relationships, late-night partying, and sadness. They were drawn to each other. Photos from their early days show they really liked each other. Bella looking at him with love, Abel seemingly amazed by this model who was different from the party scene he usually knew. For a year and a half, they were everywhere together. Red carpets, fashion shows, his music videos, her social media. They looked like the perfect, famous couple. Beautiful, successful, young, in love. Then, in November 2016, they split up. Neither gave specific reasons publicly. Publicly, Bella said they were too busy. She was traveling for work, he was touring the world. Our schedules make it hard for us, she told a magazine. We're still close friends. But here is where it gets complicated. The way breakups always do when everyone is watching. Just weeks after their split, The Weeknd was seen with Selena Gomez, not just hanging out, dating, publicly, seriously. For Bella, this had to be really hard. Your ex moves on right away, not just with anyone, but with one of the biggest pop stars on the planet. Someone people will compare you to, someone whose fans will now leave mean comments on your photos. The internet went wild. Bella versus Selena. Who is prettier? Who is more talented? Who won Abel's heart? For 10 months, Abel and Selena were together. And for 10 months, Bella had to watch her ex-boyfriend in a very public relationship while answering questions about how she felt. She handled it really well. It's not my place to talk about her, Bella said of Selena. I've never even met her. She said she was happy, moving on, and focused on her job. But in October 2017, The Weeknd and Selena broke up. And by May 2018, Bella and Abel were back together. Getting back together seemed real. They looked happy. Bella went to his concerts, he supported her at fashion events, and they posted cute photos together. Maybe people thought they fixed things this time. They didn't. In August 2019, they broke up again. For good this time, it seemed. Bella's team confirmed they were focusing on themselves and their careers. The Weeknd went on to date other people and write songs that fans guessed were about Bella. And Bella? She had to deal with the sadness while the whole world watched and gave opinions she didn't ask for. Besides The Weeknd, Bella has been connected to many other people, always with the same tiring public attention. Every dinner with a male friend starts a rumor. Every like on social media is checked for secret clues. Every time she isn't in a relationship, people make guesses about her life, her choices, and her happiness. In 2023, she briefly dated art director Mark Kalman. They were quiet about it, rarely posting about each other and keeping things away from the cameras. When they eventually split, it wasn't big news, maybe because there wasn't enough drama for the gossip blogs to use. But here is what years of dating in public taught Bella. Privacy is impossible when you're famous. Romance turns into a show, breakups turn into entertainment, and your hurt is just another story for strangers to read with their morning coffee. In interviews, Bella has shared how hard it is to date when the whole world is watching. You can't just be a person going through a breakup, she said. You have to be a person going through a breakup while millions of people have opinions about it. Imagine trying to heal from a broken heart while your ex's new fans send you hateful messages. Imagine seeing photos of your ex looking happy with someone else all over the internet. Imagine having to smile and answer questions about your love life at work events when inside you are still hurting. This is the reality of love in the spotlight. Every private moment gets used against you. Every feeling becomes content. Every relationship is graded, compared, and taken apart by people who have never met you. For Bella, who was already dealing with personal struggles and hard times and feeling like her whole life was a show, having her dating life become another public event was just one more way she lost control of her own story. The girl who wanted to be loved for who she really was couldn't even have a private relationship. Everything was for the world to see, even her heart. By 2021, Bella Hadid was at the top of her game. She was one of the highest-paid models in the world. She walked for every big brand. Her face helped sell products worth millions of dollars. She had over 50 million fans online. To the outside world, she was winning, but on the inside, she was falling apart. What people saw, perfect runway shows, fancy photo shoots, and a social media feed full of travel and expensive clothes. What was really happening? Bella was facing personal struggles so hard that she could barely make it through the day. Years later, after taking a break to heal, Bella shared the truth about that time. I had really low moments where I couldn't get out of bed for weeks. I felt like I was in in a fishbowl, like everyone was watching me, like I couldn't breathe. She talked about feeling totally overwhelmed before fashion shows, having trouble breathing backstage, crying so much her makeup had to be fixed again and again, and feeling faint as she walked out. She described feeling checked out, like she was watching her life happen without really being there, just going through the motions while feeling totally disconnected. She said she didn't even recognize herself in the mirror. She saw the famous face everyone loved, but she felt nothing at all. Or worse, she felt unhappy with what she saw. "I was going through a really hard time with my happiness and stress," she revealed. "It was the hardest it's ever been. This wasn't just a bad mood. This wasn't just being busy. This was a serious health battle. This was deep stress. This was past pain showing up in a body that had been pushed too far for too long, and nobody knew, because Bella was so good at putting on a show that she could be hurting inside while looking perfect on the outside." But there was more than just internal battles. There was a physical challenge that had been hiding in the background since she was 15, Lyme disease. For those who don't know, this comes from tick bites. In the short term, medicine can fix it, but the long-term kind, which Bella and her family deal with, is debated by doctors. Some see it as a serious condition that lasts a long time. Others aren't so sure. For the Hadid family, the signs are very real. For Bella, this meant feeling extremely tired, brain fog, body aches, confusion, and a system that made it easy for her to catch other bugs. Imagine trying to keep up with a top model's schedule, multiple shows a day, traveling the world, and working hard physically while your body feels like it's working against you. Bella did it for years. She pushed through the tiredness. She smiled even when she hurt. She worked even when her body needed to stop, because that's what models do. You don't complain. You don't show you are having a hard time. You certainly don't tell a designer you can't walk their show because you are too tired or hurting too much. Someone else will gladly take your spot. So Bella kept going until she couldn't anymore. In 2021, she started posting more openly about her health journey. She posted photos looking emotional and exhausted, with captions about feeling low. She shared images from checkups and treatments. The post surprised fans who were used to seeing only the fancy side of Bella's life. Being this open about her hard times was new, and it was brave. But it also raised questions. How long had she been dealing with this quietly? How many of those perfect runway walks happened while she was hurting? How many of those magazine covers featured a woman who was just trying to get through the day? In a really sad Instagram post from this time, Bella shared photos of herself crying and wrote, "Social media is not real. For anyone struggling, please remember that. Sometimes all you need to hear is that you're not alone." She talked about feeling like she wasn't good enough because she couldn't handle the pressure. She talked about comparing herself to other models who seemed to have an easier time with the job. She felt like she was always letting people down, her team, her family, her fans, and herself. The post became huge. Millions of people related to it. Other models and celebrities shared their own hard times. Mental health groups praised her for speaking up, but praise doesn't fix deep pain. Support from strangers doesn't cure sadness, and all the Instagram likes in the world can't fix a body and mind that have been pushed too far. Looking back, the signs were there for years. You could see it in the way Bella looked a bit lost in photos, the way her smile didn't seem real, the way she seemed to fade away at events, like she was there physically but her mind was somewhere else. But the fashion world doesn't reward being open about your feelings, it rewards perfection. And Bella learned early on that showing any weakness meant losing her spot. So she struggled quietly. She kept smiling even when things were hard. She kept working even when she was totally worn out, and even when she desperately needed a break, until finally things had to change. In 2022, Bella started doing fewer runway shows and appearances. She spent more time away from the cameras. Her team said she was just busy with other plans. But the truth was simpler. Bella Hadid was choosing her health over her career. She was choosing herself over the industry that had taken so much from her. After years of being told she only mattered because of her looks and her work schedule, Bella was learning that she actually mattered for a different reason, just for being a person. And being a person means you need rest, you need limits, and you need to be able to say, I need to stop. In 2022 and 2023, something strange happened in fashion. Bella Hadid, one of the biggest stars, started to fade away. Not all at once. She didn't make a big speech or say she was quitting. She just wasn't seen as much. She did fewer shows during fashion weeks. She was in fewer ads. She posted less on Instagram. And when she did, it wasn't about work. It was about her real life. She spent more time in places far away from the big cities. The news noticed right away. Where is Bella? Why isn't she working this season? Is she okay? Did something happen? People started guessing. Was she not feeling well? Did she have a fight with her bosses? Was her job over? There were so many rumors, and each one was more wild than the last. But the truth was actually very simple. Bella was choosing herself. After years of saying yes to every job, every show, and every ad, after years of trying to look perfect while feeling worn out on the inside, Bella was finally saying, no. No, I can't do 8 shows in 2 days. No, I can't fly around the world in 1 week. No, I can't keep putting my own well-being last when I make money for everyone else. No, it's such a simple word, but in a business where you are expected to do whatever you are told, be thankful for every job, and where they can always find someone new, saying no is a huge deal. Bella didn't make a big announcement or write a long post online, she just changed her lifestyle. She spent more time in Texas, far away from the busy fashion world. She started horseback riding again, her favorite hobby before she got sick, and before modeling became her whole life. She focused on her well-being. She spent more time taking care of her body and mind. She found ways to help herself feel better that didn't make the news, but made her feel like herself again. She launched a perfume brand, Bella, that let her be the boss. She wasn't just working for someone else anymore, she was building something that was truly hers. She hung out with family and friends without posting it online. She enjoyed real moments without worrying about content. She remembered what it felt like to just live without putting on a show. And slowly, quietly, Bella started to feel strong again. The fashion world gets confused when models draw a line. The whole business runs on the idea that there is always another young, pretty face ready to take your place if the work gets too heavy. So when Bella took a step back, the business didn't wait for her. Shows went on, ads were filmed with other models. The wheel kept turning. Some bosses respected her choice, others moved on without saying a word. A few really seemed to care about her health, but mostly the business just adjusted, because it always does. This is what Bella was learning. The world that made her a star didn't actually need her. It needed a look, a style, an image. She could be swapped out the whole time. Learning that could have been crushing. After giving up so much for modeling, to find out she could be replaced so easily. But instead, it was freeing, because if she could be replaced, then she didn't owe the business her health. She didn't owe it her peace of mind. She didn't owe it everything. While the fashion world kept going like nothing happened, Bella's fans felt differently. When she posted about taking a break for her well-being, millions of people showed love. Other models shared their own stories of feeling worn out. Young women thanked her for being real about having a hard time. The conversation about wellness in modeling began to change. Suddenly it was okay to say that this fancy job could also be really draining, that beauty and success didn't stop you from feeling low, that sometimes the best thing you could do was take a step back. Bella being open helped others feel safe to be open too. Her honesty made space for others to be real. But here is the tricky part. Even as people cheered Bella on for putting her health first, many still watched the same fashion content that helped create the stress she faced. They still followed models online online, looked at posts with impossible standards, and supported a system that can be very hard on young women. Cheering for Bella to get better while still feeding the system that hurt her, that is a hard truth we all have to face. In late 2023, Bella shared a message that explained this new part of her life. "I've learned that I have to keep my energy safe. I have to protect my peace. And sometimes that means staying out of sight." Staying out of sight? For someone whose whole job was based on being seen and being the center of attention, choosing to hide away was a huge change. She started saying no to interviews unless she really wanted to do them. She stopped reacting to every bit of drama or gossip. She let stories be written about her without trying to fix them or control what people thought. She was learning what so many stars finally learn. You cannot control how people see you. You can only control how much of yourself you share. And Bella had shared too much for too long. It was time to keep some things for herself. As Bella took a step back, people wondered, would she ever model full-time again? Was she done with runway shows? Was this just a break or was it forever? Bella hasn't given a clear answer, and maybe that is the point. Maybe the new Bella isn't focused on big future plans or career goals. Maybe she is learning to live in the moment. She is choosing what feels right for her health instead of what helps her job. Maybe she is finding out that she doesn't have to share, plan, or put on a show for everyone. After spending her whole adult life in the spotlight, Bella was finally learning to keep things to herself, to do things without making posts about it, to get better without filming it, to be a real person instead of a brand. It wasn't retiring, it wasn't quitting, it was choosing her own well-being over fame. And for someone who was cheered on for so long while hurting on the inside, that choice might have been exactly what she needed. When Bella Hadid started talking openly about her challenges, really talking, not just posting confusing Instagram stories, things changed. Not just for her, but for the bigger conversation about beauty, personal well-being, and what it means to be a famous woman. In 2022, she did a series of interviews that were very different from the usual easy celebrity chats. She wasn't selling a product, a movie, or an album. She was just being honest. She talked about her inner feelings in clear ways. She didn't just hint at tough times. She talked about real struggles, feeling very low, dealing with deep stress, the kind of honesty that makes managers nervous because it can't be easily controlled. She shared photos of herself during her hardest moments, crying, tired, without makeup, looking nothing like the Bella the world knew, photos that her team probably told her not to post because they didn't look perfect. But here is what Bella understood that the business didn't. Being real is valuable. In a time where everyone's social media shows only the best moments, where influencers sell a perfect life that doesn't exist, and where beauty is edited and fake, being open stands out. The truth gets attention. When Bella posted photos of herself crying with the caption, "This is what I look like when I'm falling apart," millions of people didn't look away. They listened. They shared their own stories. They felt understood. Bella didn't stop modeling completely, but she changed how she looked at it in a big way. Starting in 2023, she was very careful about picking jobs. She walked in shows for designers she really liked. She took jobs that matched what she believed in. She said no to work that would hurt her well-being or push her limits. This is very rare in modeling. The business is all about speed. If you aren't free, they pick someone else. The idea of a model having rules other than their pay is a huge change. But Bella had power most models don't. She was already a star and made money in other ways. She could afford to be picky. Most of all, she reached a point where she would rather lose a job than lose herself again. When she did model, she acted differently. She wasn't just a quiet doll like the business wants. She was someone with ideas who would speak up if something felt wrong. One time she asked for wellness support on set, people to talk to if models were stressed, longer breaks, and a kinder schedule. Some people thought it was too much. Bella didn't care. Bella's message wasn't just for show or a fancy marketing plan. It was simply her sharing her real story and letting that honesty speak for itself. She talked about how the industry's strict expectations affected how she saw herself growing up. She shared how she started to believe her natural look wasn't good enough. She explained that choosing to change her appearance at 14 was a sign of bigger problems, not just at home, but in a world that tells people they need to be fixed. She said the fashion world needed to change. The non-stop schedules were too much to handle. She spoke about how young models were being treated unfairly and how their health was often ignored for the sake of the job. She opened up about her ongoing health challenges in a way that helped others understand. She showed that you can look great in photos while still having a really hard time behind the scenes. She proved that you can be beautiful and still face big struggles at the same time. Most importantly, she shared all of this without acting like she had all the answers. She wasn't trying to be an expert or a perfect leader. She was just a person figuring things out, sharing what she learned, and being real about the things she was still working through. This kind of realness, messy and complicated, connected with people more than any perfect ad ever could. Maybe Bella's biggest move was changing what beauty meant to her. For years, beauty came from outside approval. It was magazine covers, fashion shows, and being called the most beautiful. It was acting like a version of herself that other people liked to look at. But after taking a step back and taking time to understand herself beyond her looks, Bella started talking about beauty in a new way. "I'm learning that beauty is how I feel, not how I look," she said in one interview. "Some days I feel beautiful with no makeup and messy hair. Some days I feel beautiful all dressed up. It's about how I feel inside, not how other people see me." This might sound like the usual stuff stars say to seem down to earth, but coming from Bella, someone who was scientifically told she had the perfect face, it really meant something. She was walking away from the approval she had spent years chasing. She was saying, "You can call me the most beautiful woman in the world, but it doesn't matter if I don't feel it. Your opinion of my looks doesn't make me who I am." Bella sharing her story made it safe for other models to speak up. Slowly, more young women in the business started talking about their personal battles, their health challenges, and times they were treated unfairly. The conversation about modeling started to change. Things that were once kept secret, the heavy pressure and the bad habits in the business, were now being talked about out loud. Did this change everything right away? No, fashion is still tough. Models are still pushed very hard. The look they want is still fake, but people were finally speaking up, and because of that, there was hope. Bella wasn't fixing the fashion world all by herself, but she was using her fame and her honesty to help change a system that had almost worn her down. For the girls watching, girls who wanted to model or worried about their looks or felt they weren't pretty enough, Bella was offering something special. It is okay to not be perfect. It is okay to have a hard time. It is okay to choose yourself, even if others don't like it. Beauty, Bella showed them, wasn't about being perfect. It was about being real. Here is the honest truth. Bella Hadid's story happens all the time. For every Bella who makes it through the fashion world, there are so many others who are used and left behind without ever getting the chance to speak up. Girls who face serious health struggles and extreme pressure. Models who deal with burnout and emotional challenges away from the cameras. Women who spend years trying to heal from the stress of their time in the spotlight. Bella's story matters because it shows what really happens to so many people. She is a sign of a much bigger issue, a business that takes advantage of young women and their self-doubt, driven by the focus on looks and kept quiet. Let's be clear about how this system works. It finds girls when they are very young, often just teenagers. This happens when they are still figuring out who they are and really want to be liked, but they are treated like grown-ups. It tells them they are special, that they have the look. It promises them fame, money, travel, and a fancy life. Then it sets rules that are almost impossible to follow. Lose weight, change your hair, change your look, be tall but not too tall, be thin, be attractive, be unique but also exactly what we want right now. It works them non-stop, many shows in a day, always traveling, very few breaks, not enough sleep, all while they are supposed to look fresh and perfect. It pays well if they make it to the top, but it makes them feel unsafe. Your job could end tomorrow. There is always a new, younger face. Don't complain, don't say no, don't be hard to work with. It focuses entirely on their looks while claiming it is art. It takes photos of them in ways that are inappropriate. It puts them around bosses and staff who sometimes take advantage of their power. And it demands quiet. Models who speak up about bad treatment, being tired, or unfair struggles are called difficult and quietly blocked from getting work. The message is clear. Your job is to be beautiful and follow orders, not to be a person. This isn't made up. This is real. Many models have talked about these problems. People inside the business admit it happens, and yet the system keeps going. But the fashion world doesn't work alone. It grows because society cares so much about looks. We live in a world that tells women they only matter if they look good, that being pretty is the most important thing, that being young and looking a certain way are needed to be respected, loved, and successful. The fashion business just makes these messages louder and makes money from them. It takes this focus on looks and puts it into shows, magazines, and social media. It creates pictures that are impossible to copy because even the models don't look like that without lighting, makeup, angles, and editing. And then they sell us the answer: buy this product, follow this routine, try this new thing. If you just buy enough and try hard enough, you can be beautiful too. You can be good enough. It's a smart plan. Make people feel unsure about themselves, then sell them the fix. Except the fix never works because the problem was designed to never go away. Bella Hadid comes from this system, but she is also hurt by it. She represents these strict beauty standards while also struggling because she started believing she had to be perfect too. This affects way more people than just the models. It's every teenage girl who hurts her own health because she saw a show and thought she had to look that way. It's every young woman changing her face to look like a filter, chasing a look that isn't real. It's everyone spending tons of money and time trying to get the perfect body based on edited photos. It's every woman who starts believing that looking good is more important than being smart, kind, or talented. The fashion world isn't the only one to blame, but it makes the problem much bigger, and it hurts so many people. One of the business's worst tricks is making bad treatment look like a lucky break. When a teenager is discovered and told she could be a model, it is presented as a gift, a chance to be famous and rich, a chance most girls dream of. What is often hidden, the pressure to be dangerously thin, the unwanted advances, the money traps. Many young models end up owing money to their bosses. The mental stress of being valued only for your looks, missing school, losing your childhood. But you can't complain because this was a big chance. You should be thankful. This trick moves the blame from the business to the person. If you are having a hard time, they say it's because you can't handle it. If you get hurt, it's because you weren't strong enough. If you speak up, you are unthankful, difficult, or not right for the job. It is a massive mind game. Here is the hard truth. We are all part of the problem. Every time we watch fashion videos, we help the system grow. Every time we buy a magazine, click on a photo, or follow a model, we support a business that relies on these young women. We say we want things to change. We feel bad when models talk about their hard times. We share stories about the intense pressure they face to look a certain way. But then we keep watching, keep clicking, keep following, keep buying. Because we like beautiful things. We like the dream. We like seeing perfect people in perfect clothes. It makes us feel inspired and helps us escape, but that feeling comes with a price. And that price is paid by people like Bella. This is why Bella Hadid's story is about more than just her. She stands for every girl who was told she wasn't pretty enough, changed her looks to fit in, and was praised praised for it, only to find out that the praise felt empty. She stands for every young woman who worked too hard for her career, who gave up her health and peace of mind for a business that would replace her instantly. She stands for the impossible rules women face. Look great but don't show off, be attractive but not too bold, be a winner but don't try too hard, be open but not weak, be perfect but act like a normal person. She shows what happens when a person is treated like a product and what it takes to take your life back. Can the fashion world improve? Is it time? There have been some changes. Some shows have age rules now, even if they aren't always followed perfectly. People are talking more about including different types of people, but the business still mostly prefers certain looks. Models are speaking out more, even though those who do often face hard times because of it. But real growth means rethinking a business that makes money when people feel unsure about themselves. It would mean brands, creators and customers all agreeing to care about more than just unrealistic looks. It means all of us need to look at why we focus so much on beauty. What are we really looking for when we look at photos? What feeling are we trying to find by trying to look like people who have a whole team helping them look that way? That kind of change is possible, but it takes more than just a few models talking. It takes everyone working together to make a difference. It means seeing that this isn't just one person's story, it's the story of a whole system that needs to be built better. Bella Hadid will turn 30 in October 2026. She has experienced more in those years than most people do in a whole lifetime. Fame, wins, sadness, health battles, being watched by everyone, personal struggles, big public debates. And through it all, she learned to be herself, not just who the world wanted her to be. Today, Bella models on her own terms. She knows she is more than just her looks. She is famous, but keeps her private life to herself. She runs her own perfume business. She speaks up for her heritage and beliefs, even when it's risky for her career. She talks openly about inner wellness. She rides horses in Texas. She goes to events only when she wants to and says no when she doesn't. She isn't perfect. She still has bad days. She still faces health challenges and deals with stress and worry. But she is still here. She keeps going. And in a business that can be very hard on young women, staying strong is a big deal. As we wrap up Bella's story, we need to ask ourselves a hard question. What are we willing to give up to be beautiful? Not just models, everyone. What are we willing to lose? Our health? Our real selves, our peace of mind? And here is the big question. Why do we care so much about looks in the first place? Why does a teenager feel the need to change her face because she thinks she isn't good enough? Why do we measure faces just to decide who is the most beautiful woman in the world? Why do companies make people feel like they are missing something just to sell them things? Why do we praise how someone looks more than who they are? Why is being beautiful seen as a bigger win than being kind, smart, or brave? Bella's story makes us face these questions, and the answers aren't easy. We live in a world that told Bella she wasn't enough as she was, a world that cheered when she changed to fit the rules of beauty. It made her famous for her face, then judged that same face. It loved her perfection, but turned on her when she admitted that trying to be perfect hurt her deeply. We did that. Not just the fashion business, us, society, everyone who watches beauty videos, clicks on celebrity news, follows models, and buys what they sell. We asked for it, the companies just gave it to us. Bella Hadid paid a huge price to look perfect. She regrets changing her looks when she was very young. She faced years of hard, emotional times. Her health issues got worse because she worked non-stop. Her relationships were seen by everyone. Every mistake was made to look bigger. Every problem was used against her. She was named the most beautiful woman in the world, and it nearly broke her because perfection isn't meant for humans, it is meant for products, for pictures, for dreams. And when you are treated like a product long enough, you start to forget you are a person. Bella's story is about remembering. It is about taking back her life from a world that only wanted her picture. It is about learning that she matters not because of how she looks, but because of who she is. That journey isn't finished. It might never be finished. Getting better takes time. It doesn't happen in a straight line, but every day Bella chooses herself over the fame. She chooses being real over being perfect. She chooses her well-being over the applause. She is showing us what it means to be human in a world that wanted her to be superhuman. If you take just one thing from Bella's story, let it be this. Looking perfect isn't worth your health. Being famous isn't worth your peace of mind. Trying to be flawless isn't worth losing who you are. The price is too high. It will always be too high. And the approval you are chasing, from the industry, from strangers online, from a world that focuses only on looks, it will never be enough. Because likes from the outside can never fix an empty feeling on the inside. Bella Hadid learned this the hard way. She was beautiful enough, successful enough, famous enough, but none of it made her feel good enough, because true confidence doesn't come from the outside. So maybe the question isn't, what are we willing to give up to look good? Maybe the question is, how much happier would we be if we stopped worrying about looks and started caring more about being real? Bella's story could have ended sadly. Many stories like hers do. But instead, it has become a story about change. It's about a young woman who got lost in the fashion world and the pressure to look perfect. Someone who almost lost herself, but fought her way back to feeling whole again. She is not perfect. She is still figuring it out. She is still making mistakes, learning and growing. But she is here. She is speaking up. She is drawing lines in the sand. She is choosing herself. And by doing that, she shows everyone watching that it is okay to do the same. Everyone who has ever felt like they weren't pretty enough or good enough. It's okay to choose yourself, to say no, to decide your own value instead of letting the world decide for you. Bella Hadid's face might be in 1,000 ads, but her voice, honest and open, might just inspire 1,000 changes. Small, personal changes. People picking health over looks, being real instead of being perfect, choosing life over putting on a show. That is the real win of Bella's story, not the fashion shows, the magazine covers, or the followers. It is the reminder that we are all human, that perfect isn't real, that beauty looks different to everyone, that your value isn't just how you look. It is the hope that maybe we can build a world that values people for who they are, not just what they look like. A world where a young girl doesn't feel the need to change her face just to be considered beautiful. A world where young women aren't pushed to the point of total burnout just for fashion. A world where beauty is kind and real. Bella Hadid is still fighting for that world, fighting by telling the truth, by speaking up, by refusing to be anything other than human. The question is, will we join her, or will we keep chasing perfect while the real people behind it fade away? But the question remains, hanging in the air, waiting for an answer. What is beauty really worth? And what are we willing to change to find a better answer? Thank you for watching. If you like this video, subscribe for more